in the air. Can everyone feel it? I think I can.
I'm
Can you feel
feeling
it?
I am definitely feeling it, Addy.
And why is there excitement in the air, Andrew? Let's talk about what we're starting.
well, guys, it's another great piece of news coming from China 232. We have just rolled out a business English podcast, free again. Everything's free here at China232. .com and
Amazing.
go to the website and you'll definitely find it. But if you want the address directly, it's www.china232.com/business English.
Business _ English, actually.
Business _ English. Okay. Today, so we're going to be doing both podcasts. So if you want to get a little more formal stuff, some business stuff, and it's going to be excellent. And we're still going to be keeping up with this kind of casual talk slang one. So now you've got two to listen to. Good for you.
Right, lucky listeners.
Lucky day.
I will say, lucky for everyone. I feel excellent today.
Great, Addy. It's glad to have you back in the studio.
I'm glad to be back. You know, I think I'm overdue.
Overdue. Very good.
Okay, let's talk about today. What are we talking about today?
All right, so in today's dialogue, we've got a couple guys talking like we always do. This time, one guy's wondering why he's feeling so sluggish, which is tired. Sluggish is kind of sleepy, or you don't want to move very much.
Right, not very wide awake.
Not wide awake. He's wondering why he's feeling like this. His friend is suggesting a few reasons why, and the guy's getting defensive about it. He can't handle.
Right. Well, let's just talk about the dialogue, and then we'll talk about it.
So let's do the dialogue. Let's get right into it. Here we go.
I've been feeling really sluggish for the past few weeks.
Have you been getting enough sleep? What about your diet?
My sleep has been quite good. I don't think there's much of a problem with my diet either.
What about all of those late night burgers you've been pigging out on at Mickey D's?
Yeah, you're one to talk. I don't think I'd even recognize you if you didn't have food in your mouth.
Hey, let's not change the subject. You'd probably have a lot more energy if you worked out more.
Well, you're not exactly Arnold Schwarzenegger either.
I thought we were talking about you. You are being so defensive. You sound like a 6-year-old.
Whatever.
Very, very nice.
Excellent dialogue. I hope I don't really sound like this in real life. Unfortunately, I do at times. Working on that. Working on everything.
We're all working at improving ourselves, trying to be our best. So this guy in the dialogue who Addy was playing was being a little bit defensive.
So what does it mean to be defensive, Andrew?
Well, defensive is if you're talking about a very sensitive topic for one person, and that person does not want to talk about it, so they keep changing the subject. They want to talk about something else, and they're kind of being aggressive. They're usually being even a little bit mean to someone else. Like in the dialogue, for example, I was giving Ad some suggestions. Actually, I wasn't being very nice either, but
No.
I was saying, Ad, it could be you're eating too much food, you're not working out, this kind of thing. But instead of Ad listening to the suggestions, he's telling me, hey, you're not doing great either. But I don't have the problem, right? I'm not the one who's sluggish.
I think usually when you're being defensive, you act like the other person has the same problem. And they're talking about you. For some reason, you have to talk about the other person having the same problem as you, even if they don't.
It's hard to talk about your own problems. You rather just talk about someone else. You're defending yourself, your own pride.
It's saying, oh, everyone has a problem. You're not good either.
Right. But this person
We're not
shouldn't
talking
have been-
about you.
We're not talking about them. Good.
Yeah.
All right. So we said sluggish earlier is tired. Kind of you're moving slow, and we're wondering why he is
Right. Why do people feel tired?
sluggish. Well, I suggested maybe he's not getting enough sleep, or maybe his diet. What's diet?
It's just what you eat.
Right. What you eat regularly is your diet.
Right. You can
And-
also say if you're going on a diet, that means you're trying to lose weight. But your diet in general is just what you're eating.
Right, exactly. What you're eating. And this is kind of rude what I said, but we do say this phrase a lot. I said, well, Ad says, there's no problem with his diet. And I said, Ad, I've seen you eat a lot of late night hamburgers. You've
Right,
been
or-
pigging out.
Or burgers. We call hamburgers burgers as well, the short form.
Yeah, burgers. And you've been pigging out. That means eating like a pig. And when we say pigging out, it's not very nice, but it means we say it a lot, and it's just kind of a fun phrase. And we're talking about someone who either eats really fast or in a rude way, or they eat a lot of junk food. Because they're kind of eating like pigs in some way, the way pigs would
Right,
eat.
just sort of eating garbage, whatever's around.
Right, so that's pigging out. And then I said, where is he pigging out? At.
At Mickey D's.
This is one slang word that we say. It's a nickname for McDonald's, right? You
Right
know,
on.
the regular restaurant McDonald's, we call it Mickey D's
Right,
sometimes.
the very popular fast food restaurant that many people eat at, but it's not very healthy for your body. So he suggested that I might be pigging out at Mickey D's.
Right. Well, I've seen him picking out, and I'm saying maybe that's why you're so sluggish. And Ad says,
You're one to talk.
this is an excellent phrase. Again, you're one to talk. So what does that mean here? I'm suggesting that he's pigging out at McDonald's, and he's saying, well, what about you, basically?
Right.
You also eat a lot of food, right?
That's what being defensive is.
This is being defensive. So he says, you're one to talk, meaning I'm telling him this problem, but at the same time, I eat a lot of junk food too.
Right, he's saying you have this problem too. We're not talking about Andrew right now.
But if you want to just use the phrase, yeah, you're one to talk, if somebody tells you, for example, hey, you should study more, and I say, you're one to talk, that means I don't think that person is studying very hard either. So how can they be telling me to do that?
Right, exactly.
And then I said, I don't think I'd even recognize you if you didn't have food in your mouth. Actually, Ad says that to me, meaning I'm always eating, basically.
Right,
Exaggerating.
right. I'm saying that he's a pig as well.
I'm a pig, so how can I be talking to him, right?
Right, exactly. Okay, and then the next thing is I say, Andrew says, let's not change the subject. The subject here is just what we're talking about.
The subject in this case, who we're talking about. We're talking about Ad, and we're talking about his problem sleeping. This is the subject.
Right, I started saying about that I've been feeling very sluggish lately, so I'm feeling very tired. We're talking about this.
We're talking about Ad's problem.
And now somehow, because I'm so defensive, I talk about, I try to say that Andrew also has this problem of eating too much.
Right, exactly. So this is a good one. So what's happening, right? Again, just to clarify, we are talking about Ad's problem, but instead of that, he's being defensive and saying, now all of a sudden we're talking about my food problem? And I'm saying, hey, let's not change the subject. Let's talk about your sleeping problem. I thought that's what we were talking about. Forget about how much I eat.
Right, it had nothing to do
It
with
has
what we're
nothing to
talking
do
about.
with me.
So we want to get back on course, and we're going to get back to the dialogue that we're talking about again. Let's move on to the next one. What is the next one? You're not exactly Arnold Schwarzenegger yourself. This is another very defensive line that
Exactly.
I say.
And we say this kind of phrase a lot. You can use anyone's name here that's famous. So you say, you're not exactly someone yourself. So that means, okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger, in case anyone doesn't know, is a professional bodybuilder. So he's very, very strong.
Well,
and
he was
fit.
one.
Yeah, he was. And he's very strong and fit. He's also a famous actor, so most people know him. And so basically I'm saying, Ad, you should be in the gym more. And he's telling me, well, it's not. This is a way of saying, well, I don't go to the gym very much by saying, hey, I'm not this professional bodybuilder. Another example, if you wanted to tell someone that they're not very handsome, a way of saying it, well, he's not exactly David Beckham.
Right, he's not exactly Brad Pitt. Any person here that's known to be very handsome or good looking.
Right, exactly. So Arnold Schwarzenegger is known to be strong. People know that. David Beckham is known to be handsome. So people say, You're not exactly David Beckham. That means you're not very handsome. Let's be careful with this, though, because it's quite strong. It's quite rude.
It's very rude to say that. If you're not exactly someone, that almost means that you're not at all like him.
Right,
too.
you're pretty bad, so be careful. But it's a good one to know in case you want to
Right.
pull it out.
What happens to friend? It's like, what does your friend look like? Well, he's not exactly, Tom Cruise. But if we
Exactly.
say this, that probably means he's not the best looking guy in the world either.
He's pretty bad.
right.
Is what we
It's just
mean.
sort of a nice way of saying that, even though it isn't nice, because we know what he means.
We do know, so be careful. Then after that, Ad is being defensive, really defensive. He's saying, he keeps changing the subject and talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, you're being so defensive, which we talked about. You sound like a 6-year-old.
Right. Even though I brought up the topic of being sluggish, we're talking about me, but I don't want to talk about me being a fat pig.
Right. He wants to talk about me instead. It's easier for him. But this key here, you sound like a 6-year-old. We often say this, 6-year-old, 8-year-old for some reason. These two numbers, it just means you're acting very, very immaturely.
Right. You're acting like a child.
Right. So you sound, you're being a baby, kind of a little kid.
Right. It's
just
like
by being-
anything, you don't want to have the child qualities, like you're being a baby, you're acting very immature. These are very immature qualities to have. And no one wants to act when they're a grown adult to be acting like a 6-year-old. So it's a strong insult, really.
Yeah, and the very last one, Ad says after I'm telling him he's so immature, and we're arguing now, and we're not even getting to the root of his problem. We're arguing, and he says,
Whatever.
okay, this whatever here basically means he totally disagrees with what I'm saying, and he doesn't want to talk anymore.
I've had enough with the conversation. Right. I'm done. I don't
He's
want to
had
talk
enough.
about it.
He's had enough talking about this. Exactly. Okay, so he's saying whatever. What it means, it's short for whatever you say. You can basically keep that. I'm not listening anymore. I'm finished.
Right. It's sort of
Whatever.
like keep your thoughts to yourself. I'm done with you.
right
No,
now.
thanks for the advice, Andrew, but whatever.
Yeah. Now this whatever is actually a little bit childish. Sometimes friends say it to each other. It's really not formal, and if you ever said it in kind of a sophisticated environment like at work or in any kind of environment where you want to look intelligent or
You certainly wouldn't say this to your boss if they said
never
something.
or colleagues in any kind of an environment like that, saying whatever,
That means you don't care what they're saying. You don't respect their opinion.
it's really rude, actually really bad. But it's if you'll hear it a lot probably in movies.
A lot of times you say it just to a friend. You know it's not totally serious, but yeah, you shouldn't be saying this in general, though. Okay.
So we're pretty much done.
Another great episode, might I say.
Another great episode, and anyone who's been emailing us, that's absolutely terrific. Thank you very, very much, and I hope people get on the website www.china232.com. Check it out. Read the free study guide on there and send us a message. Just say hi or something.
And get ready to learn some business English. We actually haven't done our episode that any business English yet. We're starting that today, though. So stay tuned for that because I think everyone's really excited.
So
about
get
it.
on the business English part. You'll see it off the homepage. Get on there, give a listen, and please give us your comments because if you like it, we're going to be doing more of them. Thank you very much.
Oh, very nice, Andrew. Okay, guys, talk to you soon.
Trying to flex on me, don't be silly. Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it.